For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.
Hello, welcome to For the Young at Heart. I'm Lucille Jerome. On today's program, we're going to be taking a look at travel opportunities for older adults, seniors, maybe with their grandchildren. And my guest today is Paula Nelson. She's the Director of Travel Sales with Rhodes Scholar. And I'm so glad that we have her here today with her expertise. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
There's so much going on right now with travel opportunities, and Rhodes Scholar was around before under a different name, as I recall.
Yes, so we've been around since 1975, and we started out as the name Elder Hostel. And at that point, it was created for teachers during their summer breaks. Trips were put together so that they could continue to learn while they're on vacation. And it has grown since then. Leaps and bounds, I think.
Okay.
And we did a rebranding several years ago based on a lot of the fact that Elder Hostel was not a name that everyone loved. You loved it or you didn't love it. And what we did was we wanted to keep that same concept of educational travel, learning while you're traveling, but bring in the next generation. As generations move on, we need to bring in that next generation that's thinking about retiring or maybe not quite at that point yet, and the name Rhodes Scholar became.
All right, okay. And so you started small, like, is there some statistics as to how small you were at one time compared to how big you are now?
I do know that the CEO of our company, during the summer when he was in college, worked there taking reservations, and it was done by hand. So there were no, what you did was a lottery. We had a list of programs, you put your name in, you sent it in, and then as soon as they all came in, they just started picking how many people could be in that particular classroom. And it was very classroom oriented. So I feel what we've done now is we've kind of taken the classroom and we've just kind of changed it a little bit. Some of the programs still have that classroom atmosphere, maybe while they're talking with one of our expert lecturers, but then the classroom is really the world now.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, it really is. It's the people, it's the places, it's who you meet, and I think that's kind of the way we look at it now. I think sometimes we look at ourselves as the university of the world. The university of the world, because really what you do is you're out there trying to meet new people, new friends, new experiences. And that's kind of, I think, who we think we are, or feel we are.
What a nice phrase, university of the world.
Yes.
And the classroom is the world.
Right. Very much so.
So the wide range of opportunities that you have, there might have been day trips many moons ago, but not so much anymore.
Probably not so much anymore. Now I think probably the shortest trip is like a weekend, 2 or 3 nights. The majority of them throughout the United States are usually a 5-night experience. But we do have a wide range of both prices and time, because not everybody has the same amount of time or disposable income. So we want to be able to have a range to be able to meet everyone's needs.
Okay, so what might be some of those 5-day trips?
So there's a lot of them within the United States. We have a lot of Cajun cooking, historic Charleston, the Monterey Coast, Steinbeck. So we take locations and we maybe take a particular topic, it might be specific to that location, and develop a trip.
So you might have a theme. You mentioned Steinbeck.
Correct.
So you might have another theme at a different place.
Exactly. There's a lot of, everything is either topic driven, destination driven. Excuse me, and that's how we create the programming that we offer.
Okay. And who does this? Who says in the office, well, we think this will go?
So we have an entire programming department, but we also work with other universities, other not-for-profits, and the programs are developed that way. So there are a lot of them that have been we've been having for many, many years. But then we get ideas from our travelers, or what we call our participants. They might say, you know, I've been thinking I'd love to see something like this. And then we sit down and see if it's something that can be developed.
All right. So you have a wide range of activities and programs, and you get the input from a wide range of people too.
Exactly. Okay. And the nice thing about our programs are everything is driven by an activity level. So it's good because if someone is maybe not as mobile as somebody else, you can self-select based on that particular activity level. And there are 7 of them. So there are things that are very specific to maybe a little bit more classroom, low impact, not a lot of stairs, to something that's very high energy outside hiking or biking. And everything in between.
Machu Picchu?
We have Machu Picchu, yes we do. Yes we do. Yes, we have I think an amazing array of interests. I think what Road Scholar does is we inspire. I think we inspire adults to learn, to discover, and to travel.
All right then, okay then. So when did you start working with them?
So I started about 14 years ago, and I started in the contact center. So we have a toll-free number, and we have people that are there answering the phones, enrolling people in the programs, or answering questions. You know, I have a cane. I need to be able to get my insulin. Can you make sure that I have refrigeration? So there's all those types of questions that people have, or needs. I can walk so much, I can't walk so much. I'm looking for something that is really active, or I'm looking for this. And we have trips to all the states, 50 states, and 150 countries. So there are very few places we don't go. And throughout the year, about 5,000 trips depart.
5,000 trips?
5,000 trips, yes. So there are several departures within a particular trip, but about 5,000 throughout the year.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Quite a lot.
Yes, it is.
So what's nice is we have an entire team of people that can answer any questions. Our catalogs are vast. There's
I'm
lots
looking
of
at a few of them,
them.
yes.
And there's just very specific little bits of information. The nice part is our website.
Now, you know, I did take a peek at your website, and we do have some information that we'll be posting about the phone number and the website. But they can also call in and say maybe they would want to see the catalog too.
Correct. Certainly you can get on our mailing list.
Okay.
And we also have an email. If you don't want to get the big catalogs, you can get our emails, and we'll send you out little blasts of when things are going on, special offers. There's always something that's new or exciting. We have many trips that offer what we would call airfare included, or free air. They have those internationally and within the United States. So airfare, we can provide you with the airfare on those programs. Internationally, you can book air with us. We have a fully staffed travel department. That's the department that I am in charge of. But you can also do air on your own too, if you were looking to do that. If you have frequent flyers, or someone wants to take care of that on their own, they can do that. So we have a wide array of different opportunities for our travel.
And anyone could call in with their questions, and someone will be able to answer those questions. For example, like you mentioned, insulin, or they have a cane.
Correct. Yes.
And you have 7 levels, 7 activity levels.
7 activity levels, yes. So if you go on the website is very interactive. It will give you a day-by-day itinerary. It will give you pricing. It will give you activity levels, accommodations. Pretty much almost every question can be answered, but that's what we have our staff on call to be able to answer any other questions, or maybe a little more in-depth things that you're looking for.
You're passionate about what you do.
I am. I really do enjoy. I love the company.
Right.
I love the company. I love the people I work for. But I also love what we do. I think the fact that we take a trip or someplace to go, and I think we open it up to the world, to that person. I think that the traveling with Road Scholar is such a unique opportunity because of who our travelers are. They are like-minded. you probably are looking at the same kind of topic, but they're passionate about it also. They want to continue their educational learning. They want that lifetime of learning as you move into a different phase in your life.
They're not ready to give up on anything.
Absolutely not. And I will tell you, it is amazing when you talk to some of these people. We have people that go on our bike programs and they may bike 20 miles a day and they're in their 90s. We have many people that have been traveling with Road Scholar for many years, and they just love what we do.
Did you say in their 90s?
In their
biking
90s,
20
yes.
miles?
I spoke to a gentleman, he was 92, and he had been, I believe, on 7 of our biking programs over the past 7 years.
Okay. So you tap into someone's interest. It could be biking.
Could be hiking, biking, could be wine, music, could be art, history. I think we have some of the most interesting programs because what we do is, depending on which trip that you look at or choose, we really take that and we really develop something around that entire topic or destination. We immerse you into it. If you are traveling internationally, you're not there to just touch the surface. We're going to get you involved in the culture, meet the people, possibly go to their home for dinner. All of our local guides are local. So we don't bring someone from here and have them teach you something in Peru about the history there. Those are all locals. You'll have a leader with you the whole time to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as it should and everything is taken care of. But in the destinations and the locations, we use all of our expertise when it comes to finding the right person for that trip. And you'll find that I think what brings people back is that educational expertise and what we offer.
But you personalize it also.
Oh,
I'm hearing, there's another piece to it. You're personalizing it also. So you've got the expertise, but it's not out there somewhere. You personalize it for the group.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Very true.
So that's a bit different than
It is.
some, I think.
It is. I think
know?
so. I think, there's a lot of companies. I think we are the leader in not-for-profit educational travel. I'm quite proud to be able to say that. But so there are other companies out there that certainly do this. But I think we've been doing it long, and I think we've been doing, I think it's the kind of thing where you realize that I think that the leaders that come in, the experts that come in that want to be a part of our program, they do it for a reason. They do it for a reason because they're as passionate about what they have to offer, and they love the fact that our people are like sponges. They just want to learn and grow, and they are so excited to be there.
So what might be so that bike riding trip, so you've got a 90-year-old, but you might have also a 55-year-old in that same trip.
Yep.
So what is the age range on some of these trips?
Well, I would say our average range, we're in about the 70s. That's kind of our average right now. We do definitely have something that's definitely in the, people that are just starting to come into the point where maybe they're not retired yet, but they are still looking for this kind of travel. They don't want to lay on a beach for a week. They really want to grow and learn while they're going. So I think the nice part about it is the fact that their age is different really doesn't seem to matter because they're both there for the same reason.
Okay. All right. So in some of the trips, there are grandparents who might want to travel with their grandchildren.
Yes.
And I think we're going to have some photos that we can show later on. But what, for example, are some of those opportunities? Because grandchildren are different ages. I mean, you might have an 8-year-old, you might have a 15-year-old.
What's really exciting about that is our grandparent programs, I think, are one of the most unique opportunities for that Road Scholar offers. There are definitely companies that have started to do some similar kinds of things, but we've been doing it a long time, and I think we do it very well. What's nice about it is our programs for grandparents and grandchildren have ranges for the children also. So you can make sure that you may not want somebody that has a grandchild that's 8 years old traveling with somebody that's 17 years old because they're different. Their likes and their needs are very different. Right. So we have.
But you already have expertise in figuring this out, so that some of the programs might be more tuned for maybe younger teenagers or older teens.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what's nice is you can self-select again based on their ages.
Right.
So normally we'll do something 8 to 12, and then maybe 12 to 15. There are also family programs too.
Oh, okay.
That's something we've started to grow more and more. So you see the three generations. You have the grandparents,
Oh.
their children, and then their children.
Oh my
So those are
gosh.
kind of exciting too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So how long have you been doing that part? How long has that been in
The family
existence?
programs, I think, well, we've had them since I've been there, but it was a very small piece. We've identified now as we move and grow that it is a niche that people are interested in. So it's definitely, I would say, over the past 5 years, grown quite a bit more.
All right then, okay.
Yeah.
So where might be some of the places you've gone with grandparents and grandchildren?
Well,
I mean, we did show one, we saw a few photos, but
So the few photos that we did see were from Machu Picchu, and that particular program was a very diverse program because it had everything from a cooking demonstration, and then the kids and the grandparents then cooked. We had so those kinds of things, and that's the nice thing about the intergenerational programs are hands-on experiences. There's nothing more exciting for a child to learn something and have their hands involved with making something. They don't want to sit in a classroom all day long and listen to somebody lecture because they're going to be, oh my God, get me out of here, I'm so bored. So what's nice
true.
about our programs are everything has some kind of an interaction. You're going to learn how to make something. Our Italy program, they learn how to make mosaic tiles, they paint, they go to Venice and they go to Murano and they learn to make a piece of jewelry. So I think the hands-on experiences are so exciting because the best part is you get to see the grandparents sitting next to the grandchild, and it's like a contest. Oh, what does yours look like? Or what does mine look like? Or if you're doing something that maybe is in Florida, there happens to be one. There's a YouTube video out right now where the children are there picking up all the different little pieces of fossils and rocks, and it's really quite.
So you're also on YouTube.
There are some YouTubes out there, yes.
Okay, I mean, people need to know that too.
Yes.
We have a lot of people who are computer illiterate and want to look at that.
Yes.
Not your
No,
website,
there are.
but YouTube.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, all right. So let's plan a trip. Let's pretend we're going to plan a trip.
Okay.
I would like to bring my 10-year-old grandson to Rome. Would that be reasonable?
So I could, off the top of my head, I can tell you that you can bring him to Rome, Venice, and Florence. I think there is a Rome program because think about it this way. All of our trips are group trips. The
Yes.
dates are all established ahead of time.
Right.
So yes, not sure if there's one specific to Rome,
Right.
but there is one that is Rome, Venice, and
Well, yeah.
yes, you can. You can do
So
that.
that's a
That is
possibility,
a
for
possibility.
example.
So grandparents, children, we have Peru, we have Africa, we have, let's see, within the Alaska, Costa Rica. Within the United States, there are ones in California, space camps, learning how to fish.
Space camp?
There's a space camp one.
Okay.
I believe it's in Alabama. Walt Disney World, behind the scenes. Snorkeling in the Florida Keys. There are a couple hundred of them.
You have as many as 100 possibilities?
I
grand-
think there's actually a couple hundred.
For grandparents and grandchildren?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's something important for our audience to know, that there's a wide variety,
Wide variety.
possibilities,
Yes.
different age levels, and different activity levels.
Correct. What's also nice about the grandparents' children, there's a few up in the, one of the more popular ones, Mount Rushmore. Exciting program. The kids love it. Arizona horseback riding. But what's nice about it too is they'll have activities for grandparents and grandchildren to get together and interact together. They may have one where the grandchildren do something on their own, grandparents may do something on their own, which is nice too, because then they have a little downtime.
Right,
you know, a
right,
little
right,
downtime.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, one of the photos we did see was just listen to me, just the grandchildren.
It was the
So
grandchildren.
they were bonding and
They
having
were
fun.
bonding. But on
Yes.
the other side of that picture, I know that's the one where they were learning how to cook. The grandparents were on the other side cooking also.
Okay, right, yeah. This is an exciting opportunity for people, for different I think the levels of activity are important too.
It is.
Because some people might shy away from even thinking about a trip.
What's also nice too is if say you find a trip and you say, I can do everything on that trip except there's one field trip I'm not totally comfortable with. You can certainly call our toll-free number, talk to somebody about it, and if you feel that you need to opt out of that one thing, that's okay too. You know, you don't feel, if it's something that is just one little opt out, rather than miss the entire opportunity.
Because some people would shy away from it. And some people might even hesitate to say something ahead of time because they don't want to be a party pooper or something like that.
Correct, yes.
You know?
No, that happens all the time. There might be just something, you know, at the end of, you know, if you're doing something, maybe that's a 10-day trip, you know, by day 8, you might say, oh, you know what? I'm really good. I'm going to just sit here and read a book for a little while. And you guys can go off and do your thing. I'll see you back here for lunch. Absolutely. Not a problem.
It's not carved in granite.
It's not covered in granite. That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. You have the itinerary, but.
Exactly. I mean, I think what's nice about our trips is we do, the majority of them are very all-inclusive. Because that's what people want.
Yes, I had been told that by someone who questioned that before. I think I told you about it. I spontaneously asked a couple of people what they were interested in. And what was included in the trip was very important to them to be very clear about that.
Right, so I can tell you it is very clear on our website. It is very clear in the confirmation notice that you would receive from us. There are quite a few of them which we would call our traditional programs, where almost everything is included from soup to nuts, including tipping, insurance, not cancellation insurance, but insurance while you're on the program. And then there are some, like I had mentioned before, that have a little bit more flexibility. Sometimes what we'll do is there might be maybe one lunch or one dinner we may opt out in a particular location, so someone can go off and do a little bit of exploring on their own.
Right.
So you get that little mix. So definitely there's something for everybody, I think is the way to.
But that's explained very clearly before the fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you call the toll-free number or look on the website, it explains exactly right down to how many lunches, how many dinners, breakfasts, how many field trips, excursions, lectures. It's very, very clear. Because I think everybody's looking for something a little different sometimes. And it also might depend on where they're going. You know, they may have been there before, so they might say, oh, I want something a little different.
That's right. That's right, because people do like to sometimes return to a favorite spot.
Place. Yes. I find that a lot of grandparent programs, you'll find that grandparents have maybe been someplace and they want to experience it with their grandchild. And it's a very unique experience, it really is. The bond that you make, I think, is amazing. I've taken my granddaughter on several of them.
Have you really?
Yeah, so it's a unique experience, and I like the fact that her mother or father aren't there because it's my experience with her and my bonding. And they are very different when they're with you. Usually a lot better.
Now.
The other thing I wanted to mention was solo travelers.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. So we have a very large group of solo travelers, and I would say the majority of them are female. And I think what we've established as an organization is a very good comfort level. We find that solo travelers are very confident in the fact that we are making sure that they feel secure, safe, and that we're really very much on top of that. The nice part also is, as a solo traveler, once you are part of the group, you feel that very much that camaraderie and that group experience, which I think is really what someone is looking for when they're by themselves. And I think our participants recognize that, and I think they embrace it, which I think is exciting.
Right. So if there are couples on that particular trip, they're not going to be exclusionary because everyone's there with the same interest.
It is very much like that. Very much like that. In fact, we have a lot of women that travel, their husbands just don't want to travel.
Right.
So they just go on their own. Or what we've also had, and it's happened quite a few times, where someone will go by themselves and meet some other people, and what they do every year is they live in different parts of the country. Every year they make a decision to go one place, and they all meet every single year, that same group of people. It's exciting, it really is. We have a lot of people that it has made such a difference in their lives, especially if they've lost a spouse and they're afraid to venture off on their own. They might take one of our shorter trips first just to see what it's like. and they feel that, life is not over. They can move on and really still enjoy so many, many wonderful things.
That's good for people to know. But
It
again,
is.
because if someone's been married many, many years, they're used to doing things together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Unless the husband didn't want to travel. And it's like you said, it's usually going to be widows.
It usually, it tends to be. I think
Yeah.
it just tends to be, or I don't know what it is. Not all, men sometimes just like to stay home.
Yeah, but women do tend to live longer, though.
That's true too.
We do.
That is
We
true.
do
Yeah.
tend to live
So I think
longer.
what's really nice about it, and the other thing is for single travelers, we have a couple of ways that you can travel. You can travel as a single and get the accommodations by yourself if that's
Oh,
what you would like
okay.
to do.
All right.
We can also, if you feel that you would like to, and maybe finances are not exactly where you would want to pay that extra supplement, we will match you up with a roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Women.
Because there is that supplement thing.
There is a supplement
Okay,
if
right.
you travel by yourself,
Right.
but
Right.
we also do have many programs that have some free single supplements.
Okay.
And that would be on our website under our special offers. So you could look at that too to see if there are any free singles. But we do find that a lot of people don't mind us matching them up, and,
Right,
and
right, yeah.
they have a roommate for a little while.
We've mentioned the toll-free number a few times. I'm just going to say it one time, but we will show it on the screen too. The toll-free number is 877-426-8054. And
5-6.
56.
Yes.
Yes, 56. And it says it there, right? It says it there, 56. That was a test.
I know that number in my head.
Oh my God, it's right there. 877-426-8056, right? But we're actually going to be winding down shortly. We only have about 2 minutes left. What might we have omitted so far? We've covered so much territory, but
I think
there's so much to go into.
I think the best thing to do is just to either pick up the phone and call us, just to ask questions, or check out our website. I think that will really give you just a little flavor, and don't be afraid to just make the move.
Make the move.
Make the move and
Just
try
make
it.
that first.
Make that
take
first
that
step.
first step.
First step, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that is what it is.
It really is.
And then the steps get easier after that
They
first
do.
step,
They
don't
do.
they?
I think
Don't they?
the best part is just check it out and see if what we have might interest you.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to see that somebody can't find something that is something that they might be passionate about.
Okay, but here's a thought. What if you had somebody who, for some reason, just didn't happen, was ready to get going? They're finally thinking, it's time for me to do something. But they look and they see something that's maybe like what they want to do, but would they then call you and say, do you think maybe someday you're going to be doing a trip to such and such
You
place?
could do that. Our trips are pretty much out, quite a few of them are out through 2019 right now.
Okay.
We're that far in advance when it comes to our programming. But I would say the best thing to do is to call us,
Okay.
because our advisors are experts at finding something that maybe you didn't even know was there.
Right, okay then. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming today and
Thank you.
sharing this information
Thank you
with
very
us.
much.
And again, the telephone number, the correct telephone number is 877-426-8056, and the website is www.roadscholar.org.
That's it.
Okay? And I've learned so much today, especially the solo travel and the family travel,
Yes.
which is a very nice option for
It is.
people.
It is.
But you prefer the grandparent-grandchild
Well,
one. That's a special, it's a special time for the two of you.
It is. We've
Okay.
been traveling for
Okay.
10 years.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.